as a part of our new ETA Spotlight, this is the time that we're going to hear from our very own producer of Two Below Tom and Big Lou Talking. Ladies and gentlemen, none other than Mr. Alex Mitchell. We're going to get to know David Lee just a little bit better, okay? So please welcome Alex.
They know me pretty well already with these pants on.
We are here live at Helen, Georgia. Jeff Lewis and Friends with Mr. David Lee. How are you, my friend?
Oh, man, I'm fantastic. Brother.
First of all, you look fantastic.
Let's
hear it for David.
Thank you for noticing.
He looks great.
Well, I must say, I can't really brag because you must be saying I didn't look fantastic the last time.
I was waiting for it.
No, you know, I've lost some weight, but really I put it on too, so, you know, you didn't congratulate me for putting it on, so don't thank me for taking it off. It's my own fault, but I'm happy to be where I'm at right now. You know I love you, brother.
I love you too, man.
And I'm the first guy, the first interview, the first headliner interview.
Absolutely, yeah.
Wow, I'm the first, baby. Hold on, this requires the Ric Flair walk.
You're going to be the first ETA on Two Below Tom.
I feel like the first ETA as old as I am. I feel like the first ETA.
And coincidentally, that's what I want to talk about is your beginnings.
So you want to talk about my weight and how old I am?
No.
Thanks, I appreciate it, man. Love you too, and we're live, you said. That's wonderful.
They threw me to the wolves. I'm telling you what. No. He's way funnier than I am, and it scares me.
No, I'm not.
How did you get into this business? What's your exposure to Elvis, and what got you to the point where you wanted to pay tribute to Elvis?
Well, I was walking by down here, my car broke down right there on 356, and I said, man, that's a bunch of guys. No. A guy I worked with when I just turned 50 years old, too, by the way, and I'm very proud of it. But I was about, when I was about 21 or 22 years old, a guy I worked with, I went to lunch with him one day, and I got in the car, and they had this thing called a cassette player. And so in the cassette player, I'll explain it to you afterwards. You're like, that makes no sense at all. Why would they put music on one of those things? So all he listened to was Elvis. So the next day I went to lunch with him again, Elvis. So after about 3 or 4 days of nothing but Elvis, I said, is that all you listen to is Elvis? And he said, what's wrong with that? And I said, well, nothing. I just never heard anybody that only listened to one person. So after about 2 weeks of him playing, you know, If I Can Dream, and It's Midnight, and Suspicious Minds, and all those songs, man, I said, well, I got to have some Elvis stuff myself. So I started collecting Elvis things. And it snowballed. I mean, man, if there was Elvis toilet paper, I had it. I mean,
it's an addiction.
I got Elvis paneling. I've got over 1,000 Elvis 8-track tapes. Wow. I've got more records than I can count. So I've got over 10,000 pieces of Elvis memorabilia. I've actually started selling some of it off because at my advanced age, we're going to need the money for retirement. So I have so much, I really have no place to put it, so I've decided to part with some stuff. So if you've been to some of my shows, you've probably seen Tara. You know, Tara likes to make a little money every once in a while.
So don't give him any more Elvis stuff.
Yeah, no, keep giving it because we need to sell it.
There you go.
No, I'm teasing. So that kind of led to one day a guy that I'd worked with, he was a very close friend of mine. We had a guy that we worked with that was leaving the company, and so we thought it would be funny and I never sang before. So we thought it'd be funny to dress up as Elvis, maybe change the words to a couple songs, and sing and kind of send him off, you know. And so we did that. And so after that, I bought a costume for $10 at a costume shop, and I'll never forget the lady said, I said, do you have any Elvis costumes? She said, well, I have one. So I went and got it off the rack, and I tried it on, and I come out, and I said, what do you think? And she said, well, honey, that's a medium, and I think you need an extra large. But it was the only one she had, and it was like, I'm not kidding you, it was about this short. And so my mom took and sewed gold lame around the bottom of it, and I had a belt buckle with an eagle in it, a picture frame with an eagle in it, like a patch, and then the belt tied in the back like a bow made out of gold lame. So that's what I wore for my first show ever. I do have some pictures somewhere, but none of y'all's ever going to see them, I guarantee you that. So the guy that sang with me is still a close friend of mine. He was at my birthday show the other day. And so after the show, we both sang. He actually rented a nice costume. So for that time, you know, not like you have now, Mr. Money Pants. It was before the internet, man. You couldn't just jump on there and get in. No. And so after it was done, I had a lot of people come up to me and say, man, you sound like Elvis. You should do that. And they didn't tell him nothing. And I thought he did really good. So he turned into a policeman and has a nice family, and I turned into this. I didn't plan it, but so I just kept doing it for fun. You know, somebody said, you know, my sister's having a birthday. Will you sing? Me? Sing? Yeah, absolutely. You know, there was having a karaoke contest at some bar somewhere. Let's go do it. I wanted to prove to people I could do it because it was so much fun to me. And I knew a lot of people, by that point, we're talking the early 90s, by that point, the Elvis phase had kind of ended and it got its second wave. So, you know, people my age were catching on going, man, Elvis is kind of cool. So I took it as my own personal job to kind of get the word out on Elvis. So I did everything you could imagine. I was singing at marathon races, Strip clubs.
That was
My brother-in-law, he'd have to know the guy. I've sang at, car shows and churches and everywhere, state park lodges, and I'm sure you got stories too. You could write a book just on the places where I've changed clothes before the show.
Wow.
I mean, I've had to stand on top of a toilet in a state park thing so I didn't get my suit wet with whatever was on the floor.
Whatever.
But you know what? I was tickled to do it, and I've been to Australia, Canada, Mexico, and like 46 of the different states and about 15 or 20 countries, all because of Elvis Presley. So I'm blessed beyond belief.
It's amazing.
Yeah. Don't ask me one question, I'll turn it into an hour. What else you got, man?
It's amazing that we can call this a job. Don't you agree?
I don't call it a job.
It's
I
not
call it
work.
a blessing. Yeah.
It is a blessing. It's a lot of
Even
fun.
on a bad day, you have to remember. Some days our voice is our instrument. Some of us, some of us have the look, so we can just pull it off if we're not feeling good. But the voice is instrument. Some days your head's clogged up. Maybe you don't feel good. But once you're out there, the people, you pay hard-earned money to see the show. So my worst fear is to let you guys down. Even today, this is just relaxed. You see, I dressed up, man. I didn't put on a T-shirt and. Well, no, I didn't mean it towards him. I was actually directing that towards Cliff because I told Cliff, I said, "You got a little something on you."
And this is the end of David Lee's interview.
Yeah. See, when you get my age and you've been doing it as long as you can aggravate the other guys, and all they can do is go, "Yeah," and then later they go, "He was a real jerk. He shouldn't have done that." But Alex knows I love him. He's my buddy. Known this guy for 20 years or right at it. So Cody's birthday is today. Did anybody tell you that? So Cody's 26 years old. And here I am doing shows with Cody, doing shows with you. So at 50 years old, I feel like I'm just hitting my stride, man. I never felt better. I feel like I got a lot of years left. And you told me one time that I only had a few years left. So I'm extended that on you.
That's so out of context, but we're going to know.
Well, that's great, though.
So everybody here knows you've won the Ultimate.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely. But
I didn't win Potawatomi, though. I don't have my own shirt saying it on there.
No. But you've also won a contest in Tupelo. Correct?
Yes, yes.
I want you to tell the people what Tupelo means to you, especially the birthplace, Rhonda, all those people over there. What does that mean to David Lee?
Well, let me preface it by saying this. There's a lot of competitions. There's not as many now as there used to be, but if you've won the Ultimate through Elvis Presley Enterprises, which I'm blessed to have said I've done that, that's really up there. But to me, just as important is to win Tupelo, because that's where Elvis was born. And those people in Tupelo, they still support Elvis. Their town thrives because of Elvis, and they know it, and they love it, and they embrace it. So to win there and to get judged, they always have great judges. That is equal to me as winning the Ultimate. It's a different honor. It's the Ultimate is the big one. So, and of course you've won Tupelo, and you've won Tupelo. That's right. So. I expect to see you at the Ultimate, too. Now, are you still trying to win?
We'll try, yeah.
Okay, well, you don't give up, because I'll be honest with you, I tried for 4 years to win the Ultimate, and on the 5th year, my wife said, if we don't win this year, maybe it's not for us. Because out of 5 years, only made the top 10 one time, and then the year I won. So the year that we were going to give it up if we didn't win, I ended up winning the whole thing. So you never know when it's your time. So because the Ultimate is a great competition. They have people from all over, but the judges are kind of wide stroke. They do know, they might have been in a movie with Elvis or, on stage with him at some point. Yeah. But it's hard for any one person to know everything. I mean, it's just hard. And if a guy comes out in the movies or something, do they understand that as much as they understand? So it's, so my advice for you and anybody else would just remember what it's called. The Ultimate Elvis. Don't go too far off the beaten path. Do songs that everybody would know and wear suits that everybody would know. And with your talent, you'll win one day.
Well, thank you, brother.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Real quick, tell the people what you've got going on. You have your own event, Clam Bake.
I do, yes. We have an event similar to this one. It's called Clam Bake. It's on Mother's Day weekend every year. We have, I don't even know how many, my wife Tara handles all, but we probably have 8 entertainers, 8 or 9. And it's a beautiful state park lodge. The view is gorgeous. I know some of you guys have been. So if you've been, you understand what I mean. And ours is... she themes all the shows. We don't really have any after parties. We do our own little thing, but we have a gospel show. So we kind of do our own thing. But some of these same guys will be there. Some of them have been. Some of them, I got people going, when are you going to have me? But luckily, I don't hire anybody for it. So
You're very smart in that aspect.
I knew, man.
You don't deal with that.
Mama didn't raise
you're friends
no
with it.
Yeah. So that, because I have so many friends in this business. and you can only have 7 or 8 every year. And how do you not have a guy say? And I want to mention him anyway because he's sick right now. He wasn't able to be here. Our friend Austin Irving has laryngitis, and I know he wishes he could be here. I just want to know he's missed. So Austin, if you're out there somewhere. What a great, fantastic guy Austin is. But how do you say, Austin, I can't have you this next year, when he's really just done great every year? So even though, maybe David Allen does a great job, how do I replace one with the other? So that's why I let Tara work it out. So we rotate. We have some of the same guys, and it's a good time. And it's, it's kind of, we call it a weekend getaway. It's not really a festival.
And it is.
Yeah, and so we'd love to have you. It's in Gunnersville, Alabama on Mother's Day weekend. The date kind of changes every time. I think it's 12, somewhere along in there, May 12th. So I know everything, don't I?
You do. All right, David Lee, everybody. Thank you so much. I'll let you get back to it. I love you, my brother.